Learners, do you know that we can find the sum of the roots of a quadratic equation without solving it first, using either completing the square method, factorization method, or quadratic formula? How possible it is? Now you want to derive a formula that you can use to find the sum of the roots of a quadratic equation without solving it first. Now follow along as I derive the formula. Now don't forget, in my last video we derived a quadratic formula. So that is where we are going to start from. So I want to write the quadratic formula on the board. The quadratic formula states the roots of a quadratic equation x is equal to minus b plus or minus into root b square minus 4ac all over 2a. So this is what the quadratic formula states. Now take a look at this b square minus 4ac. There is a particular name we call it in mathematics. So this b square minus 4ac is called discriminant. It is called discriminant. Why is it called a discriminant? This is because it tells us the type of roots a particular equation is. Now, for instance, assuming this d, if this discriminant is greater than 0, then that means the root of this equation will be distinct real roots. Two distinct real roots. Now, if this discriminant is equal to 0, that means the roots of this equation will be two equal roots. Two equal roots. Then what about if it is now less than 0? Then the roots will be imaginary roots or complex roots. So it tells us the nature of roots of a quadratic equation. So that is why we call it discriminant. It is represented by capital letter D. So take note of this. So whenever you see b squared minus 4ac in this formula, you are going to represent it by capital D. Now let us proceed. So from here, x is equal to minus b plus, instead of root b squared minus 4ac now, I want to write root d. So x is equal to minus b plus root d, then all over 2a. Or, don't forget, this is plus or minus. So it is either x is equal to minus b plus root d, or it is equal to minus b minus root d all over 2a. So now these are the two roots of the quadratic equation. X is either minus b plus root d over 2a or minus b minus root d over 2a. Don't forget what you want to do. You want to derive a formula to find the sum of a quadratic equation without solving the equation first. Now let us continue. We want to add these two roots together now. Now, assuming these roots are alpha and beta, so I want to represent the roots as alpha and beta. So the sum of the roots now will become alpha plus beta. So I want this to be alpha, while these other roots to be beta. So in order to find the sum, I'm going to say minus b plus root d all over 2a, then plus the other root minus b minus root d all over 2a. Now the LCM of 2a and 2a here is 2a. Then the next step, 2a divided by 2a, that will give us 1. Then 1 times everything up here is still minus b plus root d. Then the next step, plus 2a divided by 2a, that is 1. 1 times everything here is minus b minus root d. Then the next is to do this addition. Now we have minus b plus root d. Then here I have to multiply these two signs so as to get a single sign. So plus times minus, that is minus. So this is the same thing as saying minus b minus root d. Then all over 2a. So from here, root d minus root d will cancel each other. That will become 0. So I want to do that. Cancel, cancel. So this is equal to 0. Then we are left with minus b up here. So minus b all over 2a. Now minus 1b, that will give us minus 2b. Then all over 2a. So 2 cancels 2. Then we are left with minus b all over a. And this is the formula we can use to find the sum of the roots of a quadratic equation without solving it first. So sum of the roots of a quadratic equation, assuming the roots are alpha and beta, it is alpha plus beta is equal to minus b over a. Now, how can we apply that? Let us do the application. I want to rub it off. We want to apply this formula now. Assuming we have this equation, x squared minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Then we are asked to find the sum of the roots of this equation. So without solving this question now, we can easily do that. Now, a represents the coefficient of x squared here, the coefficient of the term with power of 2. And what is the coefficient? It is 1. So the coefficient here is 1, even though it is not written. A is equal to 1. Then what about b? B is the coefficient of x, and that is equal to minus 5. While c is the constant, that is the number without letter, and that is plus 6. Don't ignore any sign. Assuming there is minus here, you are going to write minus 6. But here c is equal to 6. Sorry, here b is minus 5. Then c is equal to 6. So from here now, we can now say sum of the roots of this equation without working it out is equal to minus b over a. Minus b over a. And what is our b? Minus 5. This is equal to minus times minus 5 all over a. Don't forget there is minus because before the b. So that is why I wrote this minus. Then b itself is minus 5. So minus times minus, that is plus. So this is minus times minus plus, so plus 5 over a is equal to 1. 5 over 1, that is equal to 5. And that is the application of this formula. Now, the next thing to do now is we want to use the same formula to find the product of roots of a quadratic equation. This time around, we want to derive a formula for the product of the roots of a quadratic equation. Product of the roots of a quadratic equation. Now don't forget the other time I wrote x is equal to minus b plus root d all over 2a, or x is equal to minus b minus root d all over 2a. So this time around we want to find the products. So the product of the roots now becomes minus b plus root d over 2a times minus b minus root d all over 2a. Now let us simplify. Minus b times minus b. This will give us b raised to power 2. Then minus b times minus d. Minus root d rather. So minus times minus is plus. So this becomes plus b root d. Then let us use this plus d to multiply everything. So plus root d times minus b. That will give us minus b root d. Then plus root d times minus root d. This will give us minus d. Don't forget root d times root d is equal to d. Then everything over 2 times 2, 4, a times a square. From here, b root d minus b root d, they cancel each other out. So we are left with b square minus d all over 4a square. Now don't forget what d is. D is equal to b square minus 4ac. So now this becomes b square minus, instead of d now, I want to write b square minus 4ac. Then all over 4a square. And this is equal to b square minus times minus. Minus times plus, that is minus b square. Then minus times minus, that is plus 4ac all over 4a square. So from here, b square cancels minus b square. Then we are left with 4ac up here, then over 4a square. 4 cancels 4, a cancels 1a here, so this is a. Then the final formula now is c over a. And this is the formula we can use to find the product of the roots of a quadratic equation. So now, how can we apply this formula? Now, I want to write an equation so that we'll be able to apply the formula. Now, assuming we have this equation, 2x squared minus 5x plus 8 is equal to 0. From this quadratic equation, a is equal to 2, b is equal to minus 5, don't ignore any sign, while c is equal to 8. Now, according to the formula we have derived now, product of the roots of a quadratic equation is equal to c all over a. C all over a. And c is equal to 8, while a is equal to 2. Then 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. So it is as easy as this. So instead of solving using either factorization method or completing the square method or formula method, you can just use this formula to find the roots without working it out. To find the product of the root and the sum of the roots. In my next video, we are going to discuss some of the properties or the nature of the roots of a quadratic equation. So I thank you very much for watching the video, for sitting patiently while the video lasts. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share.